Hey everybody! Last time we started a Flappy Bird game by creating a rule that makes our bird fall when the game starts. Our next task is to make the bird flap and stay afloat by tapping the iPad. When the bird flaps, it should move up the screen a little, but then keep falling once the player stops tapping. Hopefully, you've been thinking about how this might happen. Remember that we created a variable that will control the bird's position, or mosquito's position in my case. We called it bird up down. So we're going to make the bird go up when the iPad is tapped by changing the bird up down value to a positive value when the iPad is tapped. The number we choose for the value of bird up down will control the look and feel of your game. Remember that on your Hopscotch home screen you can hold your finger down on your project for an option to make a copy. Making a copy allows you to try things out without adding confusion to your current working version. Pause the video now and try a few things on your own to see if you can make the bird go up when you tap the screen. I'm going to show you one way to add the next code for the bird to flap when you touch the screen. So here I have it falling. We'll just make sure this works. Falling when the game starts. Okay. So we're going to add a new section here when my iPad is tapped. So we have you're going to hit new block right here, and we're going to call it flapping. Or you can call it flap, but I already have one called flap. Okay, flapping. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find our variables, and we're going to set value of bird up down, which is the one we created last time, and we're going to pick a number in there. You can change this to whatever you like. I'm going to start with 10, no, maybe 20, I don't know. You can play with it. We're going to put a positive value so that we're going up when we tap. And let's try this. Oh yeah, there we go. So then once you do that, you can add some animation in here. A rotate, a turn, that sort of thing. So play around with that. Normally when messing around in Hopscotch, we have a lot of freedom as for what emojis to use and how we're going to use them. But for the sake of putting in these obstacles, let's do the exact same thing together just until we understand how it works, and then add the variable of your own later. The next part of our challenge involves adding obstacles. Observe how the pipes are moving in the picture right here. Think about how you might make the pipes travel across the screen while the player attempts to guide the bird through them. Think back to Geometry Dash and how one obstacle stands for many others, and if they traveled backwards to make the hero look like it's moving forward. But in this game, the Y position of the pipes is different every time. So we're going to have to use some randomness. Pause the video and think about some ways you could use one object to appear like many moving across the screen from right to left. So now we have code that when we tap the screen, our bird goes up, and when we don't, our bird falls down. So we're going to work on making our obstacles now. So let's follow along together and do it exactly the same, and then once we get how it works, you can tweak it however you like. Okay? So we have the mosquito. Okay, we're going to create a new object, and this is going to be our obstacle. So let's go to text, choose text, and then emojis, and we're going to choose this one. Put 4 of those in, 5 spaces, 1, 2, whoops, we got a period in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put in 4 more. Okay, so there's our object. Obviously, from our picture, we want this to be up and down. So we're going to have to change the size and the angle. So let's do that. When the game starts, we want to, how about set size? And let's make it, I don't know, you can decide how yours looks, and everybody's screen may look different too. And then I'm going to set the angle to 90% to stand it up on its end. Okay, let's see what that looks like. There we go. All right, so if you see at the top I have a little space, You may want to make your obstacles bigger so that space isn't there, like make the 200 bigger, but that's entirely a matter of preference. You decide the look and feel of your game. So the next thing we're going to do is make this obstacle look like it's moving the screen from right to left, the opposite way you would read. So I'm going to say, when game starts, I'm going to set the speed first thing. I'm just going to pick a random number. This is not right or wrong. You can choose how you like. And then I'm going to set the position of my obstacle, the X position, to 1000, because 1000 is the far right edge of my screen. The screen is 1000 pixels wide. So I'm going to set my position to 1000, because that'll start on the complete right side of the screen. And then the X, the up and down, the Y, I'm sorry, the up and down, is going to be random because we want it to be different every time. So I'm going to say random. The bottom of the screen, it's about 800 tall. So I'm going to say not go all the way down, but maybe 200. Whoops, I had a 100 in there. Oh, okay. We put the random in the wrong place. It goes here in the Y. There we go. Okay, so random, 200 to, let's say, 600. So close to the top and close to the bottom. Let's try this. There we go. So we're not seeing it move because we didn't run it more than once. But every time we run it, see it moves up and down? Okay. Alrighty. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to move, to make our X position move from the right to the left. So we're going to say, change X by, right inside here. Change X by, and we're going to say negative 1000, because we want to move from the absolute right side of the screen to the absolute left side of the screen. And then when it gets to the other side, we want to set the invisibility to 100%. And just for good measure, let's set invisibility to 0 right there. All right, let's see if this works. We want it to get to the other side and then disappear. There it goes, gone. If I run it again, it should go at a different height. Okay, I don't like that space at the bottom, so what I might do is make my character larger. Like, my obstacle larger. There we go. So that worked once, but we need that to keep repeating over and over again. So let's grab a repeat forever block and then put all of this except the set speed right inside, because we want to just set the speed at the beginning to whatever we want. And then we'll put this inside and this inside. There we go. Now let's see if it plays over and over by itself. There we go. So try that on your own and set your preferences how you like, and we'll go from there. For the next part of our game, we want the game to be over when the bird collides with our obstacle. Hopefully you remember how to use the when bumps command to do this. Try it on your own, some ways to make the game end. Next time we'll review the collision function and then work on how to keep score.